Good afternoon, Year 6, and welcome to your first geography lesson of the academic year. To be successful today, there are some things you're going to need. You will need a pen or a pencil to write with, the worksheet that can be found on the form that you use to access this home learning video, and some colouring pencils or felt tip pens if you have them. Please pause the video now and ensure you're ready with the correct resources for today's lesson. Great, we're ready to learn. Now I'm going to share my screen with you so you can access today's learning too. This term in geography, we will be learning all about a region of America, the Amazon rainforest. That is the world's largest tropical rainforest. And in today's lesson, we will be learning to describe the location of and the characteristics of this biome. But before we begin, we're going to review our learning from last year. Please pause the video now and complete the review quiz. Well done, I can't wait to see how much you've remembered. Have a look at the answers and tick or fix your answers so that you're ready for today's new content. Let's have a look at the key vocabulary for today's lesson. I'm going to say the word and you're going to repeat after me. Rainforest. A rainforest is an area of tall and mostly evergreen trees that receives rain all year round. Tropical. Tropical means near the equator, so if a place is described as having a tropical climate, that means it will have a really hot and moist climate, because we know that places near the equator are really hot all year round. Temperate. The climate in Great Britain can be described as temperate. Temperate means mild or cool. It is neither really hot nor really cold. Biome. A biome is a community of living organisms that have adapted to a specific environment. Climate. Climate is the average weather conditions in a place all year round. So a place might be described as having a really warm climate or a cooler climate. What are rainforests? Rainforests are the biome we are going to be looking at today. So they are a type of biome or a large geographic area with a specific climate. We've already touched upon what their climate is, very hot and very wet all year round, which is where they get their name from. There are two types of rainforests, tropical and temperate. Tropical rainforests are found closer to the equator, where it is really warm. The tropical rainforest is a hot, moist biome where it rains all year long. And on the slideshow, you can see some examples of tropical rainforests. The Congo Basin in Africa and the Amazon Basin in South America. Temperate rainforests are a rainforest biome occurring in a temperate climate, so that is a milder climate. They experience vast amounts of rainfall, so that means they still experience a lot of rainfall, but the difference with temperate rainforests is that their average climate, so their temperature all year round, is much cooler when compared to tropical rainforests. Let's have a think. Do you think temperate rainforests are found closer to the equator or further away? Yes, you're correct. Temperate rainforests are found further away from the equator. That's why they have a cooler temperature than tropical rainforests. Let's focus on the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon jungle is the world's largest tropical rainforests. It covers the basin of the Amazon, which is the world's second longest river at 6,400 kilometers long. And the Amazon rainforest is 5.5 million square kilometers. That's equivalent to the size of the 48 lower states of America. And this rainforest exists in 9 different countries. It's located in the continent of South America, and it is in 9 different countries, with one country enjoying 60% of the share of the Amazon. So you can see from the map of South America that 60% of the Amazon jungle is in Brazil, and about 15% of the Amazon jungle is in Peru, but some of the Amazon jungle is also in Bolivia, Colombia, Venezuela, a little bit is also in Ecuador, and some other countries as well. It is so vast, it is spread across 9 different countries. Now, let's have a look at the physical features of the Amazon rainforest. We know that it's a tropical rainforest, and because of that, the temperature there will be really, really hot all year round. But what about the soil? Well, the soil in tropical rainforests, and indeed in the Amazon rainforest too, is typically really poor because the heavy rainfall washes away the nutrients. Precipitation, that's another word for rainfall. The yearly rainfall in the Amazon rainforests ranges from 200 to 1,000 centimetres, and it can rain really hard, so constantly raining. And well, what about the temperature? It is warm and humid all year round. The temperature ranges from 21 to 30 degrees Celsius. This graph shows us the amount of precipitation the Amazon receives every month. So you can see that in every single month there is rainfall in the Amazon rainforest. Some months receive a greater amount of rainfall than others, but every single month there is precipitation. Have a think. In which month does the Amazon receive the most rainfall? Yes, that's right. The most rainfall occurs in June. Well done. This graph shows us the temperature in the Amazon rainforest all year round. So you can see by the fact that the line is fairly straight that the temperature remains constant all year round. That's the average temperature. So on some days it will be higher. This is 25, right in the middle of 20 and 30. On some days it will be much higher. On some days it might be in the early 20s. But in general, on average, the temperature is about 26 to 27 degrees. Now, let's have a look at our first independent task. We've covered what the Amazon rainforest is, what sort of characteristics it has, and we know where it's located, including in which countries it is contained in. So, your task is to write a paragraph describing what it is and where it is located. When you've completed that, you're going to analyse the temperature and precipitation graphs to provide more information about the climate in the Amazon rainforest. You could quote specific figures from the graphs to really develop your answer. So, for example, you might say the graph shows that rainfall in the Amazon rainforest is significant, with precipitation even during the summer months. And you might say for the climate that the graph shows that the climate is constant all year round. So, pause the video now and complete these 2 tasks on your worksheet. Well done. Let's have a look now at the structure of the Amazon rainforest. Tropical rainforests are divided into 4 layers according to the height of the plants that live there. Each layer receives a different amount of sunlight and rainfall, so different types of animals are and plants are found in each layer. So that's the top layer, the second top layer, the third layer and the bottom layer. My turn, emergent layer. The emergent layer is the name given to the trees at the very top of the Amazon rainforest that poke above the rainforest canopy. As you would expect, this layer receives bright sunlight and plenty of rain. The canopy is the second layer, so the emergent layer is at the top and the canopy is the second layer. Canopy. The canopy encompasses the tops of the shorter trees. It is the thickest layer of the rainforest and it is home to many birds and animals. The broad leaves of the canopy prevent much sunlight from reaching the forest floor. Understory layer. The understory layer is a tangle of shrubs, young trees, saplings, palms and vines. It is hot and damp here and the air is very still. This layer is dark. Lack of light limits plant growth and those successful at surviving here must have special adaptations to deal with the gloom. It's the third layer, so we have the emergent layer at the top, then the canopy layer and then the understory layer. So as you can imagine, not much sunlight or rain would be able to get through and that will really inhibit the growth of the plants that live there. And finally, right at the bottom, forest floor. The forest floor is a dark and damp place, home to ferns, fungi and moss. Many leaves are spread across the floor, rotting in the damp and hot conditions. Have a think. Do you think much sunlight and rainfall reaches this layer? Why not? Yes, you're right. Barely any sunlight or rainfall reaches this layer because it is the bottom layer of the rainforest. Therefore, it's really hard for it to get through the other layers. It's so densely packed, so perhaps only a little trickle of rainfall will reach the forest floor. Now, your task. Can you draw and label the 4 layers of the rainforest? Your illustration must show that the rainforest is divided up by the height of plants that grow there. Write a short description of the characteristics of each layer. So remember to include the understory layer, the canopy layer, the forest floor, and emergent layer. Here's an example that somebody did last year. They've really clearly distinguished between each of the different layers and labelled them very carefully. Pause the video now and have a go at the independent task. Don't forget to upload today's work onto Seesaw too.